The three-day conference under the theme Methodologies, Metrics and Indicators for Assessing Climate Change Impact and Adaptation brought together leading climate scientists, policymakers and technical experts from over 33 countries. The objective is clear: to harmonize and strengthen global frameworks for measuring climate impact and climate-induced vulnerabilities. Speaking at a media engagement on the significance of the conference, Vice Chair of the IPCC Working Group 1 and the CEO of EPA, Professor Nanama Brown Klutse, lamented the persistent gaps in climate data across parts of Africa.
Climate change is a reality. It's happening. And the rate at which it's happening, it's unprecedented. Scientists in this community are already overwhelmed and still trying every day to understand the changes and the impact it's having on the people, especially the vulnerable communities. And so we all have to be aware, especially the leaders in Africa need to be aware and come up to speed with the changes that are occurring and put measures in place, including updating policies, including investing in the capacity for people or experts in the areas to update their reports and do scientific publications. So all of these publications will now inform discussions we have at COP, the Conference of Parties at the UNFCCC. Some countries do not have adequate information in terms of data and scientific reports of the happenings in the area. This affects decisions that we have on the tables.
Meanwhile, Minister responsible for climate change, Isifu Seidu, noted that Ghana remains aligned with global climate goals, urging the conference to carefully come up with broad-based recommendations.
The key areas for consideration in this meeting include developing metrics and indicators for measuring adaptation effectiveness, assessing the feasibility and effectiveness of adaptation, identifying enablers and barriers to climate change adaptation, integrating climate adaptation into broader development processes, and also enhancing support for adaptation in developing countries. Ghana is committed to climate action and welcomes the global goal on adaptation framework. We are working to develop indicators to guide our adaptation efforts and enhance support for vulnerable communities.
On his part, co-chair of IPCC Working Group 2, Bart van de Hack, said the Accra conference is a deliberate effort to help the IPCC better understand the real and lived climate impact confronting countries in the global south, including Ghana.
Despite the big efforts there are on reducing global carbon emissions worldwide, we do see that emissions will continue to be there, temperature will continue to grow, and we cannot afford not to adapt. That is our means of survival. And I also think that it is particularly in global south countries where climate impacts really materialize very prominently. And so this is a place where we can be much closer to the heart of the need for adaptation and of the need to get the information that is helping us. And so we have on purpose indeed located the meeting here, but on purpose also invited a lot of experts from Global South to bring their wisdom and experiences to the table and not to only rely on Global North paradigms and resources.
By the close of the conference, participants are expected to consolidate key recommendations to shape the next steps on climate adaptation. Carlos Caloni, Joy News, Accra.